Hello, Darren Stewart with Stewart and Stewart Attorneys. Joining me as usual, Nick Wagner.
Hello.
Good to see y'all. We're always talking about the phone calls we get or cases that we have. And so it's interesting. We often have policy limits issues. So in other words, the insurance company has a limit on what they'll pay on a vehicle wreck, a car wreck. And they won't pay more than that. So you sometimes will have uninsured motorists, which will kick in from your policy. If they're not insured, if they don't have enough insurance to cover you, then you might have underinsured coverage.
Right.
But I've had cases where the person comes in with relatively horrible injuries, arguably catastrophic, and they'll find out that the other driver has $50,000 in insurance limits, or maybe even $100,000, but their medical bills are $300,000,
right,
$250,000, something like that. And so that becomes a real issue because clearly it's worth the policy limits.
Yeah.
So there's steps that we take. We look at the individual who's driving the other car that had that insurance coverage. Do they have assets that exceed that? In other words, should we go for them for excess above? In most scenarios, they insure for what they have. So if someone has 25, they don't have the assets to pursue. All you're going to get is the 25. You could go to trial, get the 25, or you could get a $1 million verdict. The insurance company writes the check for 25,000, leaves the courthouse.
Yeah.
Good luck getting it from that individual.
Right.
Because they're going to file bankruptcy for $1,000, and you're gone.
It's worth as much as the paper it's written on.
That's right.
At that point.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the best advice is that you self-insure by paying for an under or uninsured policy that is much greater than what you think you need.
Yeah.
300, 500, whatever that amount you choose. And then you don't have to worry about what the other driver has.
Yeah.
But the policy limits is an issue in cases where we have those big injuries.
Right.
And there's nowhere to go.
Yep.
So the backside of that is if we're going to get just this small amount in the policy, the client needs money. So our job then becomes working with the lien holders, the medical providers, insurance companies that have paid for medical bills, those types of things, and getting them to take little or nothing so the client gets money.
Right.
In that scenario. So
yeah, underinsured is a good point. So if you don't have underinsured coverage, get it. If you have it, get more.
That's right. MedPay and underinsured coverage. Those are two key things that we occasionally see folks don't have in their policy, and they really should.
If you have questions about insurance coverage, policy limits, give Stewart and Stewart a call.